beautiful Monday morning, right here on Women Radio WFM 91.7. And of course, this is the program HerLens, where we discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. How are you today? How's your weekend? I hope you're feeling great. I hope you are doing well. All right. So, yes, of course, HerLens is a program where we discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues with ladies from different geopolitical zones, and we get to look at some of the things we talk about here from different points of view, of course. And we let you in on it too, and we let you come in and give us your views, because HerLens won't be complete without hearing from you. All right, so you can send in text messages, you can call in, you can also watch us live on YouTube at WFM 917. You can also do well to download our mobile app from Google Play Store or from Apple Store, WFM 917. Please go ahead and log on to our website to listen to us live from any part of the world at www.wfm917.com. So those are different ways in which you can get in touch with us this morning on the program Her Lens. Okay, so did I see? Yeah, okay, fine. All right, so let's head on to start off with one of the very first issues that we will be talking about this morning, and it has to do with domestic violence, as usual. Well, not as usual, because we don't, it's not always we start off with the issue of domestic violence, but why this one is really coming up this morning is to reiterate the importance of family when it comes to violence that women face. All right, so we're just looking at this because at the end of the day, there is the part that family plays. There is the part that we will, there is the part that family needs to be responsible for their children, especially for, the women that they get married to, or they get to give out in marriage. Now, for this particular story that we are going to take now, this trended almost, I think, right from Friday, and a lot of, conversations have been going on around it. And this is just because of the position or the place that her family took when this happened to her. And that's why I'm saying that we cannot underestimate the importance of family. We cannot underestimate how far the families should go in terms of, domestic violence, abuse, whether sexual, verbal, financial, whatever it is. I know a lot of times you get to hear, oh, don't bring third parties into your marriages, don't do this. But when the thing is becoming a threat to your life, you would definitely find a way to protect yourself, and in most cases protect your children and maybe your very loved ones. Now, for the case of this particular lady, she gave birth through cesarean section, and her mom came to stay with her. One thing led to another, one thing led to another. The mother who came for Omugo was beaten by the husband, plus the woman self that gave birth. I'm sure that a lot of us have seen this story. So the man was seen beating his wife, who just gave birth via CS, and the mother too, who came for the Omugo of that particular case. Now, the neighbors, heard about what was going on, and they started beating him. Now, the brothers of this woman, the brothers of this woman came around to beat up the husband. Well, not just to beat up the husband, they came around to beat up the husband, picked the mother, picked their sister, and left that environment and everything that belonged to her, plus the baby gone. They pick her and left. But that's not without touching the guy safe. And that one said cuckoo sweets me. I'm not saying violence is good though, but that part of it sweets me. So and then after that, they returned his bride price, because he kept saying things like, oh, na me marry am, I marry am complete, I marry am fully, and I no fit do anything on top of him. After all, I paid all the things I was supposed to pay. Now the brother say, you pay, Abby, no worry. How much you pay? Come collect the money where you pay. And they gave him everything. And they called their dad, who was probably in the village or, outside that particular city, called their dad to tell the man's people to come over so that they can, finalize the separation totally, or the divorce, because at that rate they returned everything that he paid, maybe plus even extra self, and then told him to tell his people to go to the village, or told their father to call the man's people to come. So you can see how family actually stand up to this. And that's why I said we cannot underestimate the role a family plays when it comes to one of their children, or one of them faces abuse, or violence in one way or the other, or in different forms. So a lot of times you get to see families that will say, no, go and stay there, or go and do this, or go and do that. And I think right here I shared a story of one of my aunts who was facing verbal abuse. She was facing verbal abuse, and she tried. She came back home, and one of the things that she was saying was that she was not going to go back, she's not going to do this. So my dad called the husband, spoke to him. They try to see how they can settle the whole thing. Try to involve, but the thing, no, the thing, it worked out. And the guy promised that, oh, he was going to stop, he was going to do this, and all of that. And then she went back with him. But I tell you what, now anybody that cares to ask her, she'll say, nah, Shebi is my parents, because she calls my parents hers. Shebi is my parents that say I should come back. That's why. And my mom was like, but we did not. We only spoke, and you said you were going to follow now, and you were going to see how things turn back, or turns out, before you know what to do, and all of that. So, I mean, let's try to remove, that kind of situations, because at the end of the day, if anything happens to the girl or the baby, or anything happens to your member of that, or the member of your family that is facing that abuse, and you didn't do anything about it, if anything happens to her or to him, as the case may be, I'm not sure you'll be able to live with that. Okay, so I just want us to stress the importance of family when it comes to the issue of abuse. All right, so Ibinabo has joined us. Good morning, Ibinabo. How are you? How was the weekend? And then you just go ahead and let us know your thoughts on this particular case that we're looking at, the one that started trending since on Friday, of the woman who went through CS. The husband beat her and beats her his mother-in-law, that's the girl's daughter, joined, and the brothers came over, picked them, dropped all of the things that the man paid, and just went off with them. Let's hear your thoughts on this.
Okay, good morning, Lady Rose. Good morning,
Morning.
all our valued listeners. It's good to be here. Um, Sometimes I wonder, how do people meet people? How do couple, before they became a couple, how did they meet? What did they discuss? What were the things they talked about while they were courting? Because the way some men behave sometimes, you wonder, I mean, your days of courtship, how was it? I mean, was it that you were able to hide all your, should I call it madness or something? And then when you're married to this lady, you decided that, okay, it's time to show your true color. Because above and beyond whatever must have transpired to warrant this man to behave like this woman just came out of a place which could have swallowed her, you know. I mean, you don't know what it means to give birth via CS. People will say, oh, it's easy. It's not easy. Because I had a child via CS. And I mean, while I was unconscious, my
Mm,
mother fell. And it's a place that anything could happen. Your
yeah.
blood pressure would drop, and that would be your end. You could develop anything at that time. And the doctors will do their best to save you, but I mean, they are not God. They can't, they will only do their best. And then whatever. So you see, Aside from CS, when a woman just gives birth, her body is trying to heal, trying to snap back to how it used to be. It can't go back to how it used to be completely, but it's a journey, and that journey is not easy. We have seen women who would, after giving birth, will come down with certain illness that could now eventually claim their lives. We have heard about women who, I also know a lady who, after she gave birth to her child, she had issues with her legs. She couldn't walk. One of the legs, I don't know whatever happened. And she wasn't like that before she got pregnant. Even during the pregnancy period, I wasn't living with her, but I don't know. But it wasn't funny. Eventually, she started limping. They had to take her from one orthopedic doctor to another and everything, and until eventually she could walk again. So that tells us that getting pregnant, carry this pregnancy to term and giving birth it's not something that people should joke with. Nobody should discountenance the dangers. Nobody should discountenance what the woman went through. So when a woman gives birth and you say for whatever reason, what did she do that will warrant you to beat her so much so that you even beat her mother join? It's
That's hard.
it's you understand. Somebody who saw the same video was telling me that this action that the family members took, the girl will blame them later when she begins to miss her husband. Say any child that misses such a man, is that child my child? God forbid my child go through that. But is that child a member of that family? Because if you don't love your life, then what do you even deserve? So you see, we are taking it back to the family, we are taking it back to the home. It is important, always and always, that we raise our children the right way. I know that there are times that you will put in effort to raise this child properly, and at the younger age, the child will see the child is taking in all this, training, proper upbringing, and everything. And then when a child gets to a certain age, sometimes they change. It's like, is this the child I raised? So nobody is saying that every black child was not properly raised, but parents should endeavor. We need to endeavor to make sure that we put in our best to raise our children, whether it's a boy or a girl. Because if that young man was properly raised, he would realize that no matter the level of anger, no matter the level of provocation, you don't beat up a woman who just gave birth. More so a woman who gave birth via CS.
Yes.
And then as if that, you have to beat up her mother too. And for the neighbors who have joined to beat him up, that's a lot. They must have seen a lot. And they were like, enough is enough. Don't come and kill somebody here and police to come and lock up these premises. So you see, we really need to properly raise our boy child. And you will realize that the way parents, I'm talking about parents, younger parents to me, the way they raise their children is very, it calls for questioning, because what you call pampering a child is actually raising an irresponsible person. Because like they will say, when you want to pamper this child, carry this child, go mall, shopping mall, go buy things, go buy fine clothes. But when it comes to character, you have to raise this child right. Because if this child is not properly raised, one day, see, this man that we're talking about now, I'm not surprised if he had beaten up his mother before, because if you don't respect it, you can't respect your mother. You can't, there's nothing you have to respect your mother and respect your sisters before you can respect every other woman. Because these are women, they are female. So if you have no regard for a female, you can't, obviously you don't have any regard for your mother. And any woman in your family, whether your aunties, your sisters, your female cousins, or your female nieces, your nieces rather, you don't respect them. they don't mean anything to you. In your eyes, they're like ants. They're like cockroaches that you could just carry a broom or carry something and hit and kill. Because if you have an iota of regard for these persons in your life,
Yeah.
you will trust every other woman you come across. It will be difficult before there. I know some men who cannot just, for whatever reason, raise their hands to hit a woman. They will tell you, I cannot do it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't raised like. So I want to advise ladies out there. You see, all these men who tend to beat up their wives, I don't think they start when you get married. There have been these signs, this red flag when you were courting, during your courtship.
Yeah.
But because you were blinded by what you call love
Of
or whatever it was that, blindfolded you, that you were, or you were just telling yourself, oh, I made him angry. I got on his last minute and all of that. You are fooling yourself. You go receive beating when you are married. He go beat you black, blue, even green go join himself. So I just want to say that the family members did right, because we have discussed stories where the wife will cry to our family members and will tell her, stay. The mother will say, stay. Your father wasn't a saint, but I was able to go through the years we spent together, this and that, and all of, and those not life-saving admonitions. So at the end of the day, you will hear that maybe the husband will maim the wife, or he would eventually even buy her and all of that. So the fact that she had people to come to her rescue is a lot. Not everybody has such opportunity. Some people, they don't even have anyone to call.
mm-hmm.
They are maybe an only child, or maybe their parents, maybe they are orphans,
Yeah.
or whatever reason, they don't have anyone to call
All
to
right.
come to their rescue.
Even now, but let's speak this. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Fine, thank you.
Albert is my name, calling from Ikorodu.
All right, Albert, go ahead. Let's hear you.
I like this topic so much. I do count it as a man. Even if I think that I just need to stand and beat a woman, I know that you are not something from your life as a man. Even if you listen to it 100%, so you're now into 30% to 35%, because you decide yourself already. I had a friend that if you marry a wife and you have not given her a dirty slap before, that you have not started, that you have to be respected. I said, I did not even sense any sense of knowledge of what she said, because I know that I take the family. That is how the wife, my mother has been doing, the father has been doing to the mother. So I discovered that. So, but I discovered that if you want to go into a relationship, I did not, think well or study it very well before going. You confuse you when you get there. It's not a good affair. For me, if you sense that this person is not the right choice for you, why not treat the person on time and beating all this? I don't expect that. What I just say that I'm not interested. Is it your way? Because we call it marriage, not so I like a peaceful one. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you to Albert for calling and giving us your take on this. Ibinabo, did you hear all of his comments?
The invoice a break, so I was not able to. Yeah, I know that he didn't support a man beating up his wife and all of that. But I think
Yeah.
I can't quite, someone I can't condense it to make any sense. I didn't quite hear him.
Okay, so he was just saying that he doesn't support it. That he once met a man who told him that, say, if you never beat woman or if you never slap woman, she no go respect you, and he was just appalled by that. And for him, he thinks that any man who raises a hand, on a woman, he feels that something is taken away from the man's life. From the whole man's life, like something is definitely taken away once you raise your hand to hit a woman. So he was just condemning the whole act, and and all of the negativity that comes with raising a hand, on a woman. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. As much as it is always fair not to paint all men with the same brush. I mean, we have men like Scholar who would never subscribe to that. And What he said, I can tell you that some men have that mindset. I heard it somewhere too that a woman, somebody was talking about a wife, that the wife was always looking for the man's trouble. If they had not quarreled, the woman will not let him be and all of that. And another thing said, if let's say the man will sabi give the kind slap will go reset the man's brain. And I was like, who are these people? What are you talking about? You want to slap a human being to reset the person's brain. So what he said, some men have that mindset, and it is crazy because you go slap woman, she go fall down there, and he said we go rot inside prison. Because we're not living in a jungle, we're not barbarians. So your wife is an adult. If you don't like what she does, sit down, discuss it, discuss with her. And if she refuses to change, you can look at what you can do but to hit her. I would never advise anyone to do that, no matter how crazy the woman, no matter what a troublesome person she is. Because firstly, she's not your daughter, not be your pikin
at all.
So you cannot just wake up and begin to beat somebody else's child because he's your wife. Then secondly, it doesn't even, how does that portray you? What kind of a person are you? So, how did he even get married to such a woman? So you have to marry your kind. Somebody who shares the same ideology with you. So sometimes, this bad character are not really hidden, but sometimes we refuse to face our reality. We tell ourselves, maybe some people will say, maybe I got on his nerves, I made him angry.
Yeah.
Some other ones will say, it will change. It will change. By the time we get married, I know how to handle it. You can never know how to handle it. Because courtship period is the time you as a woman, you can have your way, because it's wooing you to become, it's like it's lobbying you to become his wife. So if you can't handle anything then, you can't handle anything later on. And like I will always go back to the family. Parents need to raise their children right. And then if you are the mother-in-law to the lady, don't make it a point to always stand by your son. If your son has done wrong, please point it out. All these, after it's my son, after it's not, because after it's your son. If you go and kill somebody's else's daughter, he will not see your son again. You're going to be visiting him in the prison. So let us properly raise our children. Let us let them know that we have laws. And when we break these laws, we pay dearly for it. The arm of the law will rest on us. And also, this lady has family members.
Yeah.
Like the one we are discussing. Imagine these brothers now team up to beat up this guy. Is he so strong? Does 50 packs that he will beat the number?
Maybe they
Let's say
actually
they are two brothers.
they touch on small.
Even go the ground. A man who would have the audacity to hit a woman who just gave birth via CS. What is wrong with him? Let me tell you. I think I'd mentioned it before. When I had my CS on the road, of course, I was unconscious. They gave me some measure of anesthesia and what do they call it? I cannot mix words here. And at the end of the day, by the time I was coming around, I had a very heavy sneeze, and that I sneezed, and my mother said, while I was sneezing, I got up from the bed forcefully, and a corner of the stitches, one corner of it tore. They couldn't stitch it back because they had already cut that place. So they had to repack the bandage and everything. It was so painful. So imagine a woman who just came back from the hospital, who had CS. The wound is still healing. Still very big. She has to breastfeed. she has to recover from 9 months of pregnancy and all of that, and you chose that period to beat her up. For you to control your anger, to beat him a bit, to touch him a little bit, is because you are disciplined. Otherwise, some people will lose senses and beat him to a point that he might end up in a hospital, which we do not support here. But that is to tell you what anger can do. If you are someone who you cannot put your anger to check, don't forget that you're not the only one in wearing that shoe. Other people say wear that kind of shoe. People that when they hear your story or what you have done to their loved ones, they can't even contain their anger. They will descend like a mighty mountain crushing you. And how do we, I mean, where does that end? So let us control, take charge of our anger, be in charge of yourself. Each time something gets on your nerves, if you can't control it, walk away. Just take a walk. By the time you come back, I mean, all the tension will don't go down.
Yeah.
But for you, that you are a man. See, being a man is not beating up a woman. In fact, to me, as far as I'm concerned, a man who beats up a woman is a weakling. The real man does not beat a woman. A man who raises his hand to hit a woman, let alone his wife, is a weak man. That is not a show of strength. That shows you are irresponsible. You are a weakling. If you come face to face with a fellow man, the man will beat you. So you want to use a woman to show that you have power. You don't get power. You are a weakling. And it is a disgrace. The moment I hear that you beat your wife, whatever respect I have for you, it will not cut down to 50%. It might even completely disappear because
just go down to zero now.
Because I mean, you can sometimes there will be altercation, and then the next thing is you are raising your hand to hit the person. Such people, imagine them in other spaces, and there's a misunderstanding between them, such person and another female and a female staff. He will beat her up at it and lose his job, or what? Or if your boss is a female, now woman be. So you don't beat her up because you know that if you try it, you will lose your job. People should be responsible, please. People should learn to contain their anger. You cannot say because somebody just offended you, then you come all out and do whatever you want. There are laws out there. We have laws. We have laws that should put people to check. But because many people do not, they don't take any, they don't, I mean, even if something is actionable, they don't take any action. They don't go to court. They don't even go to the police station to make a report of it. They'll just settle it in the house and everything. So people take advantage of that. If there was a lady, her husband beat her up, and she said while he was beating her, there was something in the living room that she could have used to hit him. But while she was trying to, run away from him, not to kill her or maim her, something told her, hit him with that thing. But she told herself, no, if I go and hit him with this thing and he dies, all the pain when they inflict on me will be just flushed down the drain. So she was able to escape from him, and then she went to the police station to go and make a report. They invited the husband. Unfortunately, she said while the police met at the counter was saying, hey, now your husband carry reports here. Now, wow, this kind of woman, while he was talking that nonsense, another officer came in, scolded him, and then took up the case, invited the husband, and gave the husband stern warning. And you don't do that. The fact that a woman is your wife does not mean she has become your slave. Even if you have a slave, we have laws protecting lives and property. We have laws. Every human being, every living human being has a right.
Yeah.
To live. So if anything you are doing is going against such laws, then you have to come. I mean, you have to be punished. The arm of the law should rest on you. So the woman now said that by the time they returned home, because there and then they made the man to apologize to her and all of that, and then they went back home. By the time they got home, I think the mother got the wind of what happened, so she came
Yeah.
to the house. By the time the husband and wife returned home, they met the mother at home, the mother-in-law. The mother started shouting, "Hey, see woman, we carry her husband go police station. Hey, nobody go police station, come back, come become friends again." So what are you trying to do? That on that note, that marriage should be dissolved or what? So you can imagine that was a mother,
Hmm.
a woman who was saying all of that because the man is a son. It's so unfortunate that some of us women, what we stand for, what we support, are things that if we were in that other person's shoes, we
Hmm.
would wish the whole stand for us. But because the person, the guilty one is your own person, is your son. She was saying all manner of things. The lady said she just quietly picked one or two things, picked her daughter, and left for her parents' house. Because staying there, I mean, how would she explain it to the police that when she got home, the mother-in-law was saying all sort of things, and then she got angry and they went into what? They begin fights. So she left, and she refused to come back. The man came and begged and apologized, brought his people and apologized, begged and begged before she returned. So I said that was a man who probably could not control his anger and his brain was set aright by the police. And now he had better understanding of what it is to be a husband, because some people don't know. And I asked her that, so what happened to your mother-in-law? She said the husband said that for some time that she shouldn't come to the house, that he would want himself and his wife to heal from what happened to them before he would allow his mother to come to the house. And I told myself that that was a man who probably wasn't properly raised and somebody just set his brain right by talking sense, into his empty brain when the mama no fill up with common sense. So you see, we need to raise our children right, because I don't think after raising my children, I want anybody to come and be giving me one headache. Hey, they don't beat my wife, or they don't beat my husband. I don't want it. So I will put my best, I'll do my best to raise my children right. And I always tell them, please, you are all grown up. The youngest too will come and grow up too. So please, nobody should give me headache, or else I will not answer you.
All
That's
right.
an I beg. I want to enjoy my life. I want to have my peace.
Hmm.
I've lots as a mother. We are putting it a lot as parents. So don't come and go and do one nonsense and think that you have a mother. I will not answer you. I will not even do as if I know you from anywhere. So, and I don't even think I can find such among my children. But I'm just saying that parents should always be responsible to raise their children right, so that they don't bring problems to you when you're supposed to be enjoying your old age. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ibinabo, for your thoughts on this. Let's take up some messages. This is coming from Mrs. Oboli, and she goes on to say, "Good morning, ladies. Just you had a blissful weekend. Pregnancy itself is a Herculean task to burden on a woman that shouldn't be trivialized. What people have failed to realize in marriages is that once any form of abuse starts, reproduction should stop immediately. God bless this wonderful family for coming correct 100% for this victim, because Rose, like you rightly cited, some families will tell you to remain in that toxicity till God forbid a life is lost. If someone is not a beast, so to speak, how can someone beat up a woman that just delivered through CS and by extension unleashes venom or wrath on the woman on the mother-in-law as well? Would you say the telltale crack signs weren't there, or the red flags that stemmed into this abuse weren't visible in the first place? When you're dating and you see the signs, ignore it at your own peril. If girls are raised as nurturers, then boys should be raised holistically as protectors. And if you raise your boy as one, he will never see himself as a wife beater or turn anyone into a punching bag. Rather, you would defend those around you as a man with your life. If love is blind while dating, marriage will surely open your eyes. All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Oboli, for your message. This one is coming from Osas. Osage. Did I say Osas? Yeah. Hayford Osage. Well, yes, you can also say Osas from Iju Road. Hayford, you don't say, well, hope you're fine. How are you? Um, it says Women Radio. Now, well done. Whenever you're discussing sensitive issues like this, let's try not to be judgmental, but to balance both sides. I never support any man beating a woman, either she's your wife or not. And also, I don't support any woman to be abusive to any man because most women are used to it. And then he goes on to say, do you know how many women abuse or slap their husbands? But the public never hear of this because the way is being said, it means because the way is being said, trying to understand that, but it means you're empowering the stubborn woman. Whether we agree or not, some wives are too troublesome. Please, let's not decide on a particular gender. Here for the sage from Ichu. All right, Ibinabo, I'll just let you react to this. Did you hear, the message I read from here for the sage? Yeah.
Mm. Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'll just let you react to this particular message. I don't know, the issue of calling, some women stubborn. So because if they're stubborn, they're troublesome, should that warrant it? And we're not disputing the fact that there are no women that abuse men. Of course, there are women that abuse men. Okay, but the anyway, Ibn Abo, just go ahead.
Okay, so if effort has at least maybe it probably sent the message before I concluded my submission. So we have talked about women who do not even for a woman not to raise her son right, she's not even a good mother. We are talking about we are discussing a particular topic, and that topic has to do with a man who beat up his wife, who just gave birth via CS, which is, I mean, is the craziest thing to do because this woman, she's still healing. Her tummy, probably, I mean, the tummy has not healed. Even if they didn't give birth, why beat her up? She's your wife, a woman you love. And if any man was abused by his wife, the paradigm is shifting. We are moving into the era where nobody should keep silent. If you feel that your wife is abusive, speak up, speak out. When you tell us about it, we will condemn the act. Nobody is saying that when a woman misbehaves, then they should just rub her head and then allow her be. No, we can't condone what is not right on her lens. But the bottom line is, we have a higher percentage of women being abused, at least
Hmm.
from the report that we get, and even from the community. For every 100 couple, for you to get a couple where the woman is the one beating up the husband, I think you would look very well before you see. Because in most cases, it is the man beating up the woman, the man abusing her in other ways, maybe emotionally and other ways. But if we have men who have been abused by their wives, they should speak up. They should speak up. Nobody wants to condone any form of abuse from anybody, whether you're a man or a woman. But the truth of the matter is, the higher percentage of those who have been abused are women. Let's face the fact. Let's be
Mm-hmm.
honest with ourselves. They are women. So, but if we have men who have been abused, they should speak up. I mean, I can't just come and form a story. I can't formulate one story. We have to discuss what we have heard about, what is trending, and what is going on. So, if truly you have been abused, speak up. We will see. If we see it, we'll talk about it. We'll condemn it. But
Okay.
we don't condone bad behavior in WFM. We don't encourage it. I mean, all we are doing is trying to set the right atmosphere for homes to exist, the right atmosphere, the right behavior, everything. I mean, because if the family is a microcosm of the society, if the family keeps getting it wrong, society
Hmm.
will never get it right.
Sure.
So we need to be sane. When the family is sane, society will be sane. So in the long run, when the family is unsettled, it will affect everybody. So that's what we are saying in simple terms. We are
Okay.
not saying that men is what, let them speak up. When they
Hmm.
talk about it, we'll see it and we will discuss it and condemn it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you too, Binabo. All right. So we just have a few more minutes to go on the program this morning. Um, and okay, wait. So here for the second step back to say, Mama, if I tell you, say my wife abused me, won't you laugh at me? It's well. And I think that's where, we get it. Anyway, Binabo, go, go ahead. Because I think that's where, a lot of men just stay and receive abuse, because at the end of the day, it's a thing of how you go allow your wife they beat you, and then or how you go allow your wife they raise your hand on top you, because at the end we're seeing them as the bigger, gender here and the stronger one. So how woman goes sit down and say they beat you? But let me hear, just go ahead and probably respond to this.
Okay, thank you, Hayford. You see, the world is changing. People are getting enlightened, and today is different than yesterday, and tomorrow hopefully will be better. What am I saying? For us on this program, and even generally in Women Radio, we do not believe that because your wife abuses you, that means that you are a weakling. No. If a man is raised not to abuse women, not to beat up a woman and all of that, and unfortunately he is married to a woman who is abusive and he doesn't want to retaliate, doesn't make him a weakling. You see, the narrative is changing. Gradually, the paradigm is shifting, I promise you. And we are gravitating towards a time when a man can come out and say, see what my wife did in
Hmm.
terms of abusive to me. And I had to keep it calm, because if I reacted or responded to it, she would land in the hospital. We know people like that. There are men like that. And we will not sit here and condemn such men and see them as being weaklings. No, we are not. You are properly raised, you are being responsible, and that act on the part of the woman should be condemned totally. Abuse from any angle, female or male, is totally unacceptable, because it is even against the laws of the land. Every human being has a right to live and let another person live as well. So when you are having such in your relationship,
Yeah.
and you to stop up the courage to speak up, it doesn't make you a weakling. Nobody should disrespect you for that. In fact, you should be respected for that, because some people will say, probably maybe he's married to a giant. See, you don't have to be all six packs and a 6-footer to deal with a woman. There are some, have you not seen a place where, do you know what they call violence? I'm not teaching you violence, but I'm just trying to set an example.
Yeah.
When somebody you is beating you up, you can pick something and beat the person. But if you don't do it because you are more responsible, it doesn't mean you are a weaker person. I wouldn't say like that. Rose wouldn't, nobody on this program will view you like, will perceive you like that. So the bottom line is, people should learn to speak up. Women are speaking up. So
Hmm.
you too should speak up. It'll be a balance. We cannot create a story and imagine that somebody is beating up his husband somewhere and begin to talk about it. We need to see it, hear about it, and then discuss it. So
Yep.
if you are being abused by your wife, please speak up. It doesn't make you a weakling. It doesn't mean you are a weaker person. It just shows that you are more responsible and you are obedient to the law of the land. Nobody is too big to be wounded. Somebody can be fighting with a younger person, a weaker person. I mean, looking at the person, you see like an adult, a 20-year-old fighting a 10-year-old. What if 10-year-old picks up a weapon and hits the person? So we're not encouraging violence here, but what I'm saying is, I don't believe anybody is weak.
Hmm.
I mean, when it's Oh, they're going to perceive me as being a weak man because my wife beats me. No. Because if you want to retaliate, you can retaliate in whatever form you want, whatever manner you want, and that will not end well. So your patience is appreciated, but you should speak up so that we can address it and condemn that woman's
Yeah.
acts. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to Ibinabo. And thank you, here for the Sage, for keeping this really conversational. All right. So this is where we'll draw the curtains for today. I wanted to ask Ibinabo, how far lights on our side? And that's in our repo, we say every day, but how is the light going? Because I saw a lady who came on social media and she was saying that in this time when there's no light, this is where she's making the most of her money, that she's hoping that the lights remains like this so that she so that she'll make all the money that she's making. But maybe we'll talk about that lightly, tomorrow morning, because our time is fast spent now. Thank you so much, Ibinabo, for coming on. And Suzanne had some trainings to do today, and Buki had some late night runs to do, so that's why they couldn't join us today, but hopefully tomorrow we'll get to have them join us. So do well to have a great day, and this week is Easter week, by the way. So I mean, I know a lot of people are preparing towards it, but we'll have a good celebration with Christian sisters and brothers. All right, thank you all for staying with us. Do well to stay tuned to Women Radio WFM 91.7. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Good morning.
We are. To sponsor this program, call the number